Welcome to tonight's bedtime story. Close your eyes, snuggle in, and let your imagination take flight. In the grand kingdom of Elendor, Prince Alaric discovers an ancient book in the vast library. This book reveals a hidden kingdom protected by an enchanted shield and a prophecy of a chosen prince destined to find it. Join Alaric, his loyal knight Sir Cedric, and the brave guardian Sophia as they journey through the mystical forest of Eldara. Feel the magic and wonder as they face trials of courage and wisdom. Let the soothing tale guide you into a peaceful sleep, where dreams of adventure and heroism await. Good night and sweet dreams, dear listener. The great library of Elendor was a vast expanse of knowledge, its shelves lined with ancient tomes and scrolls that whispered secrets of a bygone era. Prince Alaric, the young heir to the kingdom, often found solace within these walls. His mind, ever curious and hungry for adventure, sought out the stories of heroism and magic that filled the pages. On a day when the sun hung low in the sky, casting golden rays through the grand windows, Alaric's fingers brushed against a dusty, leather-bound book. It was tucked away in a corner, forgotten by time. The prince pulled it from its resting place and blew off the layer of dust, revealing a worn title, The Chronicles of the Hidden Kingdom. Intrigued, Alaric settled into a nearby chair and began to read. The pages spoke of a mystical realm concealed within the heart of an ancient forest. This hidden kingdom, protected by powerful magic, thrived in harmony, untouched by the outside world. It was said that the kingdom's peace was safeguarded by an enchanted shield, a relic of immense power, granting its wielder the ability to create impenetrable barriers and unmatched strength. As Alaric turned each page, his excitement grew. The book detailed the location of the hidden kingdom, describing a journey fraught with peril and guarded by creatures of legend. But it was the final passage that captured his heart. The prophecy of a chosen prince destined to find and wield the enchanted shield, to protect the hidden kingdom from a looming darkness. Alaric knew in his bones that this was his destiny. He had always felt a pull towards something greater, a sense that his purpose lay beyond the walls of Elendor. Determined to uncover the truth, he carefully removed the ancient map that was folded within the book. The map depicted the forest of Eldara, with intricate details marking the path to the hidden kingdom. With the map in hand, Alaric set out to prepare for his journey. He packed provisions, gathered his most trusted weapons, and donned his sturdy leather armor. As he made his way to the stables, he was met by Sir Cedric, his loyal knight and mentor. "Your Highness, where are you headed in such haste?" Sir Cedric inquired, his brow furrowed with concern. Alaric held up the book and the map. "I found something extraordinary, Cedric. A hidden kingdom that needs our help. I must find it and fulfill the prophecy." Cedric's eyes widened as he examined the ancient text. "This is no small endeavor, my prince. The forest of Eldara is treacherous, and the path is filled with dangers unknown." "All the more reason for me to go," Alaric replied with unwavering determination. "If the kingdom is in danger, I must act. It is my duty as a prince." With a reluctant nod, Cedric offered his assistance. "Then I shall accompany you, my prince. You will need a trusted companion on this journey." Alaric smiled, grateful for Cedric's loyalty. "Thank you, old friend. Together, we will face whatever lies ahead." Mounted on their steeds, Alaric and Cedric rode out of Elendor, their hearts set on the adventure that awaited them. The journey through Eldara was as perilous as the legends foretold. The dense forest loomed around them, its ancient trees casting long shadows that seemed to whisper secrets of their own. As they ventured deeper, they encountered the first of many challenges, a thicket of thorny brambles that seemed impassable. Alaric dismounted and approached the tangled vines, drawing his sword. With careful precision, he began to cut through the thorns, making a path for them to continue. Cedric kept watch, his eyes scanning the forest for any sign of danger. "We must be vigilant, Your Highness. The forest is alive with magic, and not all of it is friendly." Hours passed, and the forest grew darker and more foreboding. Strange sounds echoed through the trees, and the feeling of being watched never left them. But Alaric's resolve remained unshaken. He knew that the enchanted shield was out there, waiting for him. Just as night began to fall, they reached a clearing. In the center stood an ancient stone archway, covered in vines and glowing faintly with an otherworldly light. Alaric stepped forward, his heart pounding with anticipation. This was it, the gateway to the hidden kingdom. With a deep breath, he placed his hand on the archway. The vines parted, revealing a shimmering portal. Alaric turned to Cedric, who gave him an encouraging nod. Together, they stepped through the portal, leaving the forest of Eldara behind and entering a world of magic and mystery. Stepping through the portal was like entering another realm entirely. The air shimmered with a soft luminescence, and the forest around them seemed to breathe with an ancient, hidden life. The trees here were taller and more majestic, their leaves a vibrant green that glowed faintly in the twilight. Alaric and Cedric stood in awe, taking in the beauty of the hidden kingdom. As they ventured deeper, they noticed that the path was lined with flowers that seemed to hum with a gentle melody. Strange creatures, unlike any they had seen before, darted in and out of the foliage, their eyes twinkling with curiosity. It was a place of enchantment, where magic was woven into the very fabric of the land. The journey led them to a grand clearing where a magnificent palace stood. The palace was built of white marble, its towers reaching toward the sky, adorned with golden spires that caught the light of the setting sun. It was a sight to behold, a testament to the hidden kingdom's splendor. At the entrance, they were greeted by a group of guards clad in gleaming armor. One of them stepped forward, his demeanor regal and composed. "Welcome, travelers. I am Captain Thorn, commander of the Royal Guard. State your purpose in the hidden kingdom." Alaric stepped forward, holding up the ancient book and map. "I am Prince Alaric of Elendor, and this is my loyal knight, Sir Cedric. We come seeking the enchanted shield as foretold by the prophecy. We wish to aid your kingdom in its time of need." Captain Thorn examined the book and map, then nodded. "Follow me. King Thaddeus will wish to meet you." They were escorted through the palace's grand halls, their walls adorned with tapestries depicting the kingdom's rich history. The air was filled with the scent of blooming flowers, and the sound of distant music echoed softly. It was a place of tranquility and harmony, a stark contrast to the perilous journey they had endured. At last they entered the throne room, a vast chamber illuminated by chandeliers made of crystal. Seated upon a grand throne was King Thaddeus, a figure of wisdom and grace. His silver hair flowed like a river, and his eyes sparkled with the knowledge of ages. "Welcome, Prince Alaric and Sir Cedric," the king greeted them warmly. "I have been expecting you. The prophecy spoke of your arrival, and it is a great honor to meet you." Alaric bowed respectfully. "Your Majesty, it is an honor to be here. We come with the hope of fulfilling the prophecy and defending your kingdom." King Thaddeus smiled, his gaze filled with gratitude. "You have already shown great courage by finding our hidden realm. The enchanted shield is indeed real, and it is the key to our kingdom's protection. But its power must be earned, not merely taken." The king gestured to a figure standing beside him, a striking young woman with fierce eyes and a warrior's poise. "This is Sophia, the guardian of the shield. She will be your guide and companion on this journey. Together, you will face the trials that await and prove yourself worthy of the shield's power." Sophia stepped forward, her eyes assessing Alaric and Cedric with a mixture of curiosity and determination. "I hope you are ready, Prince Alaric. The path ahead will not be easy, but I will do everything in my power to help you succeed." Alaric met her gaze, feeling a connection that went beyond words. "I am ready, Sophia. We will face whatever challenges lie ahead, together." King Thaddeus rose from his throne, his presence commanding and inspiring. "Then let the journey begin. The fate of our kingdom rests in your hands. May the power of the enchanted shield guide you and protect you." With renewed determination, Alaric, Cedric, and Sophia set out from the palace, their quest just beginning. The hidden kingdom held many secrets, and the trials they would face would test their strength, courage, and resolve. But with the enchanted shield within reach, they were ready to face whatever dangers lay ahead, united in their purpose to protect the realm and fulfill the prophecy. The dawn broke gently over the hidden kingdom, casting a warm, golden light over the land. Alaric, Cedric, and Sophia departed the palace, their hearts filled with a mixture of anticipation and resolve. The path to the enchanted shield was fraught with peril, but together they were determined to overcome whatever challenges lay ahead. Their first destination was the sacred grove, a place whispered about in the old tales Alaric had read. According to Sophia, the grove was home to the oracle of Eldara, a mystical being who held the knowledge needed to unlock the shield's power. The journey there was not without its dangers. The forest was alive with enchantments and guarded by ancient creatures. As they ventured deeper into the forest, the trees grew taller and the air thicker with magic. Strange, glowing plants lit their way, and the sounds of the forest were unlike any Alaric had ever heard. It was as if the very essence of the hidden kingdom was singing to them, guiding their steps. Sophia led them with confidence, her knowledge of the forest evident in the way she navigated its twists and turns. "Stay close," she advised, her voice calm but firm. "The forest can be deceptive, and it does not take kindly to those who stray from the path." Cedric nodded, his hand resting on the hilt of his sword. "We face worse, Your Highness. We'll get through this." Alaric, though filled with determination, couldn't help but feel a sense of awe and trepidation. Every step felt like a step closer to his destiny, but also deeper into the unknown. "Thank you both for your support. Together, we can do this." After hours of travel, they reached the edge of the sacred grove. It was a place of ethereal beauty, the air thick with the scent of blooming flowers and the gentle hum of magical energy. In the center of the grove stood a massive ancient tree, its bark covered in glowing runes. Sophia approached the tree with reverence. "This is the heartwood tree, the oldest living being in the hidden kingdom. The oracle resides within its roots." As if on cue, the ground beneath the tree shimmered, and a figure emerged from the roots. The oracle was a being of light and shadow, her form shifting and ethereal. She gazed upon the trio with eyes that seemed to see into their very souls. "Welcome, chosen ones," the oracle's voice echoed like a whisper on the wind. "You seek the power of the enchanted shield, but first, you must prove yourselves worthy. Each of you must face a trial that will test your heart, mind, and spirit." Alaric stepped forward, his resolve unwavering. "We are ready, Oracle. What must we do?" The oracle extended her hand, and 3 paths appeared before them, each leading into a different part of the grove. "Prince Alaric, you will follow the path of the heart. Sir Cedric, you will take the path of the mind. Sophia, you will journey the path of the spirit. Only by succeeding in your trials will you unlock the shield's true power." With a nod of determination, the trio separated, each taking their respective paths. Alaric's path led him deeper into the grove, where the trees seemed to close in around him, their branches forming an intricate maze. He moved forward with purpose, knowing that his trial would not be an easy one. The path grew darker, and Alaric found himself standing before a deep chasm. On the other side was a glowing pedestal, upon which rested a fragment of the enchanted shield. But the chasm was wide, and the only way across was a narrow, rickety bridge. As he stepped onto the bridge, it creaked ominously. His heart pounded in his chest, but he forced himself to move forward. Halfway across, a gust of wind threatened to throw him off balance. Alaric closed his eyes, focusing on his purpose. He thought of the hidden kingdom and its people, of the prophecy that had brought him here. With each step, he grew more confident, his fear giving way to resolve. He reached the other side and grasped the shield fragment, feeling a surge of power course through him. The path of the heart had tested his courage, and he had emerged victorious. Meanwhile, Cedric and Sophia faced their own trials. Cedric's path led him through a labyrinth of mirrors, each reflection challenging his perception and intellect. Sophia's path took her to a serene glade, where she had to confront her deepest fears and insecurities. When they reunited at the heartwood tree, each carried a fragment of the shield. The oracle smiled, her form shimmering with approval. You have proven yourselves worthy. The shield is now yours to wield. But remember, its true power lies not in strength, but in unity and compassion. The fragments merged into a single radiant shield, its surface glowing with an inner light. Alaric held it aloft, feeling its power resonate within him. Together, they had taken the first step in fulfilling the prophecy. Their journey was far from over, but with the enchanted shield in hand and their bond stronger than ever, they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, determined to protect the hidden kingdom and bring peace to their world. With the enchanted shield now whole and in their possession, Alaric, Cedric, and Sophia felt a renewed sense of purpose. The hidden kingdom lay before them, a realm brimming with magic and secrets yet to be uncovered. Their immediate task was to return to the palace and present the shield to King Thaddeus. They hoped that, with the shield's power, they could fortify the kingdom against the looming threat of Malachi, the dark sorcerer who coveted its power. The journey back to the palace was swift, the magical energy of the shield guiding them safely through the forest's maze-like paths. As they neared the palace gates, the air seemed to buzz with anticipation. The guards, recognizing the shield, stood aside with reverent expressions, their armor glinting in the dappled sunlight. King Thaddeus awaited them in the throne room, his gaze sharp and hopeful. As they approached, the king rose from his throne, his eyes fixed on the radiant shield. "You have done it," he said, his voice a mixture of relief and pride. The enchanted shield is ours once more. With its power, we can protect our kingdom and its people. Alaric stepped forward, holding the shield aloft. We encountered many trials, Your Majesty, but with the guidance of Sophia and the wisdom of Sir Cedric, we have proven ourselves worthy. The shield is now ready to fulfill its purpose. Sophia nodded, her eyes meeting the king's. But we must act quickly. Malachi will not wait long before making his move. He knows of the shield's power and will stop at nothing to claim it. King Thaddeus nodded gravely. You speak true, Sophia. Malachi's forces are already on the move. We must prepare our defenses and rally our warriors. The battle for our kingdom's future is upon us. The king summoned his advisors and military leaders. The palace abuzz with activity. Plans were laid out, strategies discussed, and every able-bodied warrior prepared for the coming conflict. Alaric, Cedric, and Sophia found themselves at the heart of these preparations, their presence a symbol of hope and strength for the kingdom's people. As night fell, the palace was a hive of activity, torchlight flickering against the ancient stone walls. Alaric stood on a balcony overlooking the courtyard, watching as soldiers armed themselves and citizens rallied to support their defenders. He felt a hand on his shoulder and turned to see Cedric standing beside him. Your Highness, our preparations are almost complete, Cedric said, his voice steady and reassuring. The men are ready, and the shield is in your hands. We will face whatever comes with courage and determination. Alaric nodded, grateful for Cedric's unwavering support. Thank you, Cedric. I couldn't do this without you and Sophia. Together, we will protect this kingdom. As if summoned by his words, Sophia joined them on the balcony. Her presence was a calming influence, her warrior's poise and inner strength evident in her every movement. The people believe in you, Alaric, she said softly. We all do. The shield's power is a beacon of hope, but it is your courage and leadership that will guide us through this. Alaric felt a swell of emotion at her words. He knew that the path ahead would be fraught with danger, but with Cedric and Sophia by his side, he felt ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As dawn approached, the horizon glowed with the first light of day, casting a golden hue over the hidden kingdom. The army gathered in the courtyard, their spirits high and their resolve unwavering. Alaric stood before them, the enchanted shield strapped to his arm, its surface glowing with an inner light. Today, we stand together to defend our home, Alaric called out, his voice strong and clear. We face a great darkness, but with the power of the shield and the strength of our hearts, we will prevail. For the hidden kingdom. A roar of approval echoed through the courtyard, the warriors raising their weapons in unison. The time had come to face Malachi and his forces, to protect the kingdom and fulfill the prophecy. United in purpose, Alaric, Cedric, and Sophia led their army out of the palace, ready to confront the darkness and bring light to their world. The hidden kingdom's serene morning was shattered by the distant sounds of Malakay's advancing forces. From the palace balcony, Alaric, Cedric and Sophia could see dark clouds gathering on the horizon, a grim prelude to the impending battle. The air grew thick with tension as the kingdom's warriors assembled, their armor gleaming under the rising sun. Alaric stood at the forefront, the enchanted shield on his arm radiating a reassuring warmth. He turned to address the assembled soldiers, his voice ringing with conviction. Today, we fight not just for ourselves, but for the future of this kingdom. Malakay seeks to destroy all that we hold dear, but we will not let him. Stand strong, fight with honor, and let the shield guide us to victory. The soldiers cheered, their spirits bolstered by Alaric's words. As the army marched out of the palace grounds, a sense of unity and purpose filled the air. They were ready to face the darkness, to defend their home with every ounce of strength they possessed. The battlefield was a stark contrast to the lush beauty of the hidden kingdom. Dark, twisted trees loomed like sentinels, and the ground was scarred by Malakay's corrupt magic. The enemy's forces, a grotesque mix of twisted creatures and dark sorcerers, stood ready, their eyes glowing with malevolent intent. Malakay himself stood at the center of his army, his dark robes billowing like shadows in the wind. His eyes, cold and calculating, fixed on Alaric and the enchanted shield. "So the chosen prince has finally arrived," he sneered, his voice dripping with disdain. "Do you really think that shield can save you?" Alaric stepped forward, his gaze unwavering. "This shield represents more than just power, Malakay. It symbolizes the strength and unity of this kingdom, something you will never understand. Today, your reign of terror ends." With a furious roar, Malakay raised his staff, unleashing a torrent of dark energy towards Alaric. The enchanted shield glowed brightly, absorbing the attack and creating a protective barrier around the prince and his companions. The battle had begun. Warriors clashed with ferocity, the sounds of swords meeting echoing across the battlefield. Cedric fought valiantly, his blade flashing as he cut through the enemy ranks. Sophia moved with the grace and precision of a seasoned warrior, her arrows finding their mark with deadly accuracy. Alaric, guided by the shield's power, led the charge. The shield's magic not only protected him, but also enhanced his strength and speed. He fought with a determination born of his promise to protect the hidden kingdom, every strike purposeful and precise. Despite their courage, the enemy's forces were relentless. Dark sorcerers cast spells that threatened to overwhelm the kingdom's defenders. But for every wave of darkness, the shield's light shone brighter, a beacon of hope amidst the chaos. In the midst of the battle, Alaric found himself face to face with Malachi. The dark sorcerer's eyes burned with fury, his staff crackling with dark energy. "You are a fool to think you can defeat me," Malachi spat, launching another powerful attack. The shield absorbed the blast, its surface glowing with an intense light. Alaric felt the shield's power surge through him, filling him with a sense of invincibility. "Your darkness has no place here, Malachi. This kingdom stands united against you." With a fierce battle cry, Alaric charged, the shield leading the way. The clash between light and dark was intense, the air crackling with magical energy. Malachi fought with desperation, but Alaric's resolve was unyielding. He pressed forward, the shield deflecting every attack. In a final desperate move, Malachi unleashed a powerful spell, intending to destroy Alaric once and for all. But the shield's magic countered it, the light overwhelming the dark. With a final decisive strike, Alaric's sword found its mark, piercing Malachi's heart. The dark sorcerer's scream echoed across the battlefield as he fell, his body dissolving into shadows. The enemy's forces, now leaderless, fled in terror. The battle won. Exhausted but triumphant, Alaric stood amidst the remnants of the battlefield, the shield's glow fading as peace returned. Cedric and Sophia joined him, their faces reflecting the relief and pride of victory. "The hidden kingdom is safe," Alaric said, his voice filled with gratitude. "But this is just the beginning. We must rebuild and ensure that such darkness never threatens us again." King Thaddeus, who had watched the battle from a distance, approached, his eyes shining with pride. "You have fulfilled the prophecy, Prince Alaric. The enchanted shield's power, combined with your courage and leadership, has saved our kingdom." The warriors cheered, their voices echoing through the forest. The battle was over, but the journey to protect and nurture the hidden kingdom was just beginning. United in their purpose, Alaric, Cedric and Sophia looked forward to a future of peace and prosperity, knowing that together they could face any challenge that lay ahead. The hidden kingdom buzzed with the energy of renewal. After the climactic battle, the people of the realm began the arduous task of rebuilding, their spirits high despite the toll of war. The victory over Malachi had not only saved their homeland, but also instilled a sense of unity and purpose that had long been forgotten. Alaric, now hailed as a hero, found himself at the heart of these efforts. He worked alongside the kingdom's citizens, lending his strength and leadership to the reconstruction. The enchanted shield, now a symbol of hope and resilience, was placed in the palace's grand hall, a reminder of their triumph and the sacrifices made. As the days turned into weeks, the kingdom flourished. The palace, once a place of worry and planning for war, now bustled with activity as leaders and citizens alike focused on restoring their land. Alaric, Cedric and Sophia were celebrated, their deeds immortalized in song and story. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the palace gardens, Alaric found himself wandering the serene pathways. The flowers, blooming in vibrant colors, swayed gently in the breeze. He reflected on the journey that had brought him here, the discovery of the ancient book, the trials in the sacred grove, and the fierce battle against Malachi. His thoughts were interrupted by the soft sound of footsteps. He turned to see Sophia approaching, her expression thoughtful. "You seem deep in thought, Alaric," she said, her voice gentle. Alaric smiled, gesturing for her to join him on a nearby bench. "Just reflecting on everything we've been through. It feels like a lifetime ago that I first set out on this quest." Sophia nodded, her eyes filled with a mix of pride and wistfulness. "We've come a long way. The kingdom is safe and the people are united. But I can't help but think of the future and what it holds for all of us." Alaric looked at her, his gaze steady. "The future is ours to shape, Sophia. With the enchanted shield and the strength of our people, we can ensure that the hidden kingdom remains a place of peace and prosperity." They sat in comfortable silence for a moment, the garden around them a haven of tranquility. Then Sophia turned to him, her eyes shining with determination. "There's something I've been meaning to ask you, Alaric. Will you stay here in the hidden kingdom and help us build this future? Your leadership and vision are what we need." Alaric felt a warmth spread through him at her words. "I had considered returning to Elendor, but this kingdom has become a part of me. I want to stay, to help rebuild and protect it. Together, we can achieve great things." Sophia's smile was radiant. "I'm glad to hear that. With you by our side, I know we can face whatever challenges come our way." As the days passed, Alaric, Cedric, and Sophia became integral to the kingdom's new era. Cedric, with his experience and wisdom, helped train a new generation of warriors, ensuring that the kingdom would always be prepared to defend itself. Sophia, a beacon of strength and inspiration, led initiatives to restore and enhance the kingdom's natural beauty and resources. Alaric, embracing his role as both leader and protector, worked tirelessly to forge alliances with neighboring realms, spreading the message of unity and cooperation. His journey had taught him that true strength lay in the bonds between people, and he was determined to foster these connections. One evening, as the kingdom celebrated the completion of a grand new hall dedicated to learning and magic, King Thaddeus addressed the gathered crowd. His voice, filled with emotion, carried over the celebratory din. "Today, we mark not just the rebuilding of our kingdom, but the beginning of a new era. An era of hope, unity, and boundless potential. We owe our thanks to many, but none more so than Prince Alaric, Sir Cedric, and Sophia. Their courage and dedication have brought us to this moment, and it is with great pride that I welcome Alaric as an honorary member of our royal family. The crowd erupted in cheers, their voices filled with joy and gratitude. Alaric, standing beside Cedric and Sophia, felt a profound sense of belonging. This hidden kingdom, once a distant legend, had become his home. As the celebrations continued into the night, Alaric looked around at the faces of the people he had come to care for deeply. The hidden kingdom was no longer hidden. Its light shone brightly for all to see. And in that light, Alaric saw a future filled with promise and possibility, a future he was proud to be a part of. The hidden kingdom settled into a rhythm of peace and prosperity. Alaric, Cedric, and Sophia became not just leaders, but symbols of the kingdom's resilience and unity. As the seasons changed, their bond with the people grew stronger, and the land flourished under their care. One crisp autumn morning, Alaric stood on a balcony overlooking the bustling market square. The air was filled with the sounds of laughter and the scent of freshly baked bread. Merchants hawked their wares, and children chased each other, their faces bright with joy. It was a scene of normalcy and happiness that Alaric had fought so hard to protect. His thoughts were interrupted by a messenger who approached with a respectful bow. "Your Highness, a delegation from Elendor has arrived. They seek an audience with you." Alaric nodded, his heart quickening at the mention of his homeland. "Thank you. Please escort them to the council chamber." The delegation consisted of Elendor's esteemed nobles, their expressions a mix of curiosity and respect as they entered the grand chamber. Alaric greeted them warmly, his memories of his homeland flooding back. "Welcome to the hidden kingdom," he said, gesturing for them to be seated. "It is good to see familiar faces." Lord Aldrich, the leader of the delegation, spoke first. "Prince Alaric, we have heard tales of your bravery and the wondrous hidden kingdom you now call home. We come seeking to strengthen the bond between our realms and to learn from your wisdom." Alaric smiled, feeling a deep sense of pride. Elendor and the Hidden Kingdom share a common goal: peace and prosperity. I am honored to help forge a stronger alliance between our lands. The discussions that followed were fruitful, with agreements made on trade, mutual defense, and cultural exchange. Alaric's heart swelled with the knowledge that his two worlds were coming together, united by a common purpose. After the meeting, Alaric found Sophia and Cedric in the courtyard, their faces reflecting the contentment that had settled over the kingdom. "The delegation from Elendor has agreed to a formal alliance," Alaric announced, his voice filled with satisfaction. "Our two realms will stand together." Sophia's eyes sparkled with pride. "You have done well, Alaric. This alliance will only make us stronger." Cedric clapped a hand on Alaric's shoulder. "Your parents in Elendor would be proud to see how you have grown into a true leader. uniting our kingdoms. The days turned into weeks, and the bond between Elendor and the Hidden Kingdom deepened. Festivals were held to celebrate the alliance, bringing people together in joyous celebration. The shared knowledge and resources enriched both realms, fostering a spirit of cooperation and friendship. One evening, as the sun set in a blaze of colours, Alaric stood by the enchanted shield in the grand hall. He felt a presence beside him and turned to see King Thaddeus, his eyes filled with wisdom and warmth. "You have brought great honour to this kingdom, Alaric," the king said, his voice gentle. "Your journey has transformed not just our realm, but yourself. You are no longer just a prince of Elendor. You are a leader of our united lands." Alaric nodded, feeling the weight of the king's words. "I could not have done it alone. The support of Cedric, Sophia, and the people has been my strength." King Thaddeus smiled. "And that is the true power of the enchanted shield. It is not just a relic of protection, but a symbol of the unity and strength that comes from standing together." As the night deepened, Alaric found himself walking through the palace gardens. The moonlight cast a silver glow over the flowers, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming jasmine. He felt a sense of peace and fulfillment that he had never known before. Sophia joined him, her presence a comforting balm. "You have achieved something remarkable, Alaric. The Hidden Kingdom and Elendor are stronger together, and it is because of your vision and courage." Alaric took her hand, feeling a surge of gratitude and affection. "We have achieved it together, Sophia. This is just the beginning of a new era of peace and prosperity." Their journey had been long and fraught with challenges, but as they stood together under the starlit sky, they knew that the future was bright. The Hidden Kingdom, once shrouded in mystery, now stood as a beacon of hope and unity, its light shining for all to see. Winter descended upon the Hidden Kingdom, transforming the landscape into a serene, snowy wonderland. The palace, with its towers and spires dusted with snow, looked like something out of a fairy tale. The kingdom's people, undeterred by the cold, continued their work and celebrations, their hearts warmed by the unity and prosperity they now enjoyed. Alaric found himself increasingly involved in the daily life of the kingdom. He attended council meetings, advised on matters of state, and worked closely with King Thaddeus. His bond with Sophia deepened, their shared experiences forging a connection that went beyond friendship. One crisp morning, as snowflakes danced in the air, Alaric and Sophia ventured into the forest to gather winter herbs. The forest, now blanketed in snow, was eerily quiet, the usual sounds of wildlife hushed by the winter chill. Sophia paused, her eyes scanning the snow-covered ground. "It's so peaceful here. Hard to believe that just months ago, this forest was the site of a great battle." Alaric nodded, his breath visible in the cold air. It is a testament to the resilience of the land and its people. We have all worked hard to restore this peace. As they walked, Alaric felt a sense of contentment. The hidden kingdom had become his home, and he took pride in its recovery and growth. They reached a clearing where the ground was covered in delicate, frost-covered herbs. Sophia knelt to gather some, her fingers deftly plucking the plants. "These will be perfect for the winter remedies," she said, smiling up at Alaric. "The people will appreciate the effort." Alaric smiled back, feeling a warmth that had nothing to do with the winter sun. "It's the least we can do. Every small act helps strengthen our community." As they worked, a figure emerged from the trees. It was Cedric, his face flushed from the cold, but his eyes bright with excitement. "Alaric, Sophia, you must come quickly. There's something you need to see." Intrigued, they followed Cedric back to the palace. He led them to a room in the east wing, where King Thaddeus and a group of advisors were gathered. In the center of the room stood a large, intricately carved chest, its surface adorned with ancient runes. King Thaddeus looked up as they entered, his expression one of awe and excitement. "We have discovered something extraordinary," he said, gesturing to the chest. "This was found buried beneath the palace during the recent renovations. It appears to be a relic from our kingdom's earliest days." Alaric stepped closer, his eyes examining the runes. "What is it?" The king opened the chest with a reverent touch, revealing a collection of scrolls and artifacts. These scrolls contain records of the kingdom's founding, detailing the creation of the enchanted shield and its guardianship. There is also a map showing the locations of other magical relics hidden throughout our land. Sophia gasped, her eyes wide with wonder. This could unlock so many secrets about our history and magic. Alaric felt a surge of excitement. "And it could help us further strengthen the kingdom. We must study these scrolls and see what we can learn." Over the following weeks, Alaric, Sophia, and Cedric delved into the ancient texts, uncovering a wealth of knowledge about the kingdom's past. They learned of the great sorcerers who had forged the enchanted shield, the ancient rituals that had protected the land, and the hidden relics that could amplify the kingdom's power. One scroll in particular caught Alaric's attention. It spoke of a legendary artifact known as the Crystal of Eternity, said to possess the power to heal the land and its people. According to the map, it was hidden deep within the heart of the forest, in a place known as the Crystal Cavern. Sophia read the scroll over his shoulder, her eyes alight with excitement. If we could find the Crystal of Eternity, it would be a tremendous boon for the kingdom. Imagine the healing and prosperity it could bring. Cedric nodded, his expression thoughtful. It will not be an easy journey, but it is one worth undertaking. Alaric felt a renewed sense of purpose. Then we must set out at once. The kingdom's future depends on it. With the enchanted shield at his side and the support of his trusted companions, Alaric prepared for yet another quest. The hidden kingdom had come a long way, but there were still many mysteries to uncover and challenges to face. Together, they would seek out the crystal of eternity, determined to ensure a future of peace and prosperity for all. The day of departure arrived swiftly, and the hidden kingdom buzzed with anticipation. Alaric, Sophia, and Cedric stood at the edge of the forest, their horses laden with supplies for the journey ahead. The air was crisp, and the sun shone brightly, casting a golden glow over the snow-covered landscape. King Thaddeus and a small group of advisors had gathered to see them off. The king's eyes were filled with both pride and concern. "You embark on a noble quest," he said, his voice steady. "The crystal of eternity holds great power, and its discovery could ensure the lasting prosperity of our kingdom. Go with our blessings and return safely." Alaric nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. "We will find the crystal and bring it back, Your Majesty. The kingdom's future depends on it." With final farewells exchanged, the trio set off into the forest. The path ahead was treacherous, the ground slippery with ice and snow. But they pressed on, their resolve unwavering. The map they carried, a relic from the ancient chest, guided them through the dense woods. Days passed in a blur of white and green as they journeyed deeper into the heart of the forest. The landscape grew wilder and more untamed, with towering trees and hidden ravines. Each night, they camped beneath the stars, the firelight casting flickering shadows on the snow. One evening, as they huddled around the fire, Sophia spoke of her hopes for the kingdom. "The crystal of eternity could heal more than just the land," she said, her voice soft. "It could bring hope and unity to our people, something we've been striving for." Cedric nodded, his eyes reflecting the flames. "It's a symbol of the past and the future. If we can harness its power, we can ensure that our kingdom remains strong for generations to come." Alaric listened, his heart swelling with pride for his companions. "We are on the right path," he said, his voice filled with determination. "Together, we can achieve anything." The next day, they encountered their first major obstacle, a deep gorge that seemed impossible to cross. The map indicated that the crystal cavern lay on the other side, but the bridge that once spanned the gorge had long since collapsed. Sophia studied the gorge, her mind working quickly. "We can use the vines and ropes to create a makeshift bridge. It will be risky, but it's our only option." With careful coordination, they set to work, using their combined skills to fashion a bridge. Alaric and Cedric secured the ropes, while Sophia tested the strength of each vine. Hours later, their creation stretched across the gorge, swaying precariously in the wind. Alaric was the first to cross, his heart pounding with each step. The bridge creaked and groaned, but it held firm. Once on the other side, he helped Sophia and Cedric across, their faces tense with concentration. Safely across, they continued their journey, the forest growing darker and more foreboding. Strange noises echoed through the trees, and the feeling of being watched never left them. But they pressed on, driven by their goal. At last, they reached the entrance to the crystal cavern. The cave's mouth was adorned with ancient runes, glowing faintly in the dim light. A sense of awe and reverence filled the air as they stepped inside, their torches casting eerie shadows on the walls. The cavern was a labyrinth of tunnels and chambers, each more wondrous than the last. Crystals of all shapes and sizes jutted from the walls, their facets reflecting the light in a dazzling display. But it was the central chamber that took their breath away. In the center of the chamber stood the crystal of eternity, a towering gem that pulsed with a gentle, ethereal light. Its surface was smooth and flawless, and it emitted a soft hum that resonated through their very souls. Alaric approached the crystal with reverence, feeling its power wash over him. "This is it," he whispered, his voice filled with wonder. "The crystal of eternity." Sophia and Cedric joined him, their faces alight with awe. "We have found it," Sophia said, her voice trembling with emotion. "The future of our kingdom is secure." As they prepared to retrieve the crystal, a sudden rumble shook the cavern. The ground trembled, and cracks appeared in the walls. Alaric realized with a jolt of fear that their presence had triggered a collapse. "We need to get out of here now!" Cedric shouted, his voice echoing through the chamber. With quick thinking and coordinated effort, they managed to dislodge the crystal from its pedestal and secure it. The cavern shook violently, and debris fell around them as they raced towards the entrance. Just as the cavern began to collapse completely, they emerged into the daylight, the crystal of eternity safely in their possession. Panting and covered in dust, they looked at each other with a mixture of relief and triumph. "We did it," Alaric said, his voice breathless but filled with joy. "We have the crystal." Sophia smiled, her eyes shining with pride. "And now, we return to the kingdom, ready to build a future brighter than ever before." With the crystal of eternity in hand, they began their journey back, knowing that their quest had only just begun. The hidden kingdom awaited their return, and with it, a new chapter in their story of courage, unity, and hope. The return journey to the hidden kingdom was marked by a palpable sense of triumph. Alaric, Sophia, and Cedric felt the weight of the crystal of eternity in their packs and the significance of their achievement. The forest, once a realm of dangers and shadows, now seemed to welcome them back, its ancient trees whispering encouragement in the wind. As they neared the outskirts of the kingdom, the first signs of spring began to emerge. Snow melted into glistening streams, and delicate buds appeared on branches. It was as if the land itself sensed the approaching power of the crystal and responded with renewed life. Their arrival at the palace was met with joyous celebration. The people of the hidden kingdom gathered to welcome them back, their faces alight with hope and excitement. King Thaddeus stood at the palace steps, his expression a mix of relief and pride. "You have returned," he said, his voice carrying across the courtyard. "And with you, the promise of a brighter future." Alaric, Sophia, and Cedric approached the king, the crystal of eternity glowing softly in Alaric's hands. "We have succeeded, Your Majesty," Alaric said, presenting the crystal. "The power of the crystal is ours to harness. It will heal the land and strengthen our people." King Thaddeus took the crystal, holding it up for all to see. The crowd erupted in cheers, their voices echoing through the palace grounds. The crystal's light seemed to radiate outward, filling everyone with a sense of peace and optimism. In the days that followed, the crystal of eternity was placed in a specially crafted chamber within the palace. Its energy spread throughout the kingdom, revitalizing crops, healing the sick, and infusing the land with an unprecedented vitality. The hidden kingdom, once a secluded and mysterious realm, now flourished like never before. Alaric, Cedric, and Sophia continued to play pivotal roles in the kingdom's renaissance. Cedric trained new recruits, ensuring that the kingdom's defenses remained strong. Sophia led efforts to distribute the crystal's blessings to all corners of the realm, working tirelessly to ensure that every citizen benefited from its power. Alaric, meanwhile, took on the mantle of advisor to King Thaddeus. His wisdom and experience, coupled with his unyielding dedication to the kingdom's well-being, made him an invaluable leader. Together, they forged new alliances and strengthened existing ones, ensuring that the hidden kingdom would never again face the threats of the past. One afternoon, as Alaric walked through the bustling market square, he marveled at the transformation around him. The air was filled with laughter and music, the stalls brimming with vibrant produce and crafts. The people moved with a sense of purpose and joy, their faces reflecting the prosperity that had come with the crystal's power. Sophia joined him, her expression mirroring his satisfaction. "It's incredible, isn't it? The kingdom is thriving in ways we never imagined." Alaric nodded, his eyes scanning the lively scene. "It is, and it's all thanks to our collective efforts and the power of the crystal of eternity. We've created something truly special here." As they walked, they passed a group of children playing near a fountain. One of the children, a little girl with bright eyes, ran up to Alaric and tugged at his cloak. "Prince Alaric, is it true that you found a magic crystal that makes everything better?" Alaric knelt down, smiling warmly at her. "Yes, it's true. But it wasn't just the crystal. It was everyone working together, believing in each other, and striving for a better future. The girl beamed, her eyes wide with admiration. When I grow up, I want to be brave like you and help the kingdom too. Alaric's heart swelled with pride. You will be, I'm sure of it. And the kingdom will always need brave and kind-hearted people like you. As the girl ran back to her friends, Sophia turned to Alaric, her eyes filled with warmth. You've inspired so many, Alaric. The future of our kingdom is brighter because of you. He took her hand, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. Because of all of us, we've shown that together we can overcome any challenge. Their bond, forged in the fires of adversity and strengthened by their shared victories, was unbreakable. As they stood together, watching the vibrant life of the hidden kingdom unfold around them, they knew that their journey was far from over. There would always be new challenges to face and new horizons to explore. But with the power of the crystal of eternity and the unity of their people, they were ready for whatever the future held. The hidden kingdom, once a place of legend, had become a beacon of hope and unity. And as Alaric, Sophia, and Cedric looked to the future, they knew that their story was just beginning. A story of courage, love, and the enduring power of unity. As spring gave way to summer, the hidden kingdom basked in its newfound prosperity. Fields of golden wheat swayed in the warm breeze, and orchards laden with fruit promised a bountiful harvest. The crystal of eternity's influence touched every corner of the realm, healing wounds both physical and emotional, and bringing an era of peace that many had only dreamed of. One evening, as the setting sun bathed the palace in a soft golden light, King Thaddeus summoned Alaric, Cedric, and Sophia to the grand hall. The king's eyes twinkled with a mixture of pride and something deeper, an unspoken concern that only those closest to him could sense. You have done so much for this kingdom, King Thaddeus began, his voice resonating with gratitude. The crystal of eternity has brought us immeasurable blessings. But with its power comes a responsibility we must all bear. Sophia stepped forward, her eyes searching the king's face. What troubles you, your majesty? King Thaddeus sighed, his expression turning solemn. The crystal's power is immense, but it is also a beacon. I fear it may attract those who seek to harness its magic for darker purposes. We must be vigilant and prepared for any threat that may arise. Alaric nodded, understanding the weight of the king's words. We have faced great challenges before, and we will face them again if need be. The kingdom's safety is our highest priority. Cedric, ever the pragmatist, added, we should strengthen our defenses and increase our patrols. Knowledge of the crystal's existence must be carefully guarded. The king agreed, and preparations began immediately. The palace buzzed with activity as soldiers trained, fortifications were reinforced, and scouts were sent to monitor the borders. Alaric, Sophia, and Cedric took on new roles, overseeing the kingdom's security and ensuring that its people remained safe. As the days passed, Alaric found himself drawn to the crystal of eternity's chamber. The crystal's light was a constant reminder of the hope it brought, but also of the potential dangers it attracted. He often stood before it, contemplating the balance between power and responsibility. One night, as the moon cast a silvery glow over the kingdom, Alaric heard a faint whisper, a voice carried on the wind, beckoning him to the crystal. He followed the sound, his footsteps echoing softly in the empty halls. When he reached the chamber, he found Sophia already there, her eyes fixed on the crystal. "You heard it too," she said quietly, not turning to look at him. Alaric nodded, stepping closer. "The crystal is trying to communicate with us. There's something it wants us to understand." Sophia placed a hand on the crystal's surface, feeling its energy resonate through her. It's as if the crystal knows of the potential threats and wants to help us prepare. At that moment, the crystal's light intensified and visions began to form within its depths. Alaric and Sophia saw images of distant lands, of dark figures shrouded in shadow, and of a powerful force amassing, intent on seizing the crystal's power. The visions were both a warning and a guide. "We need to act quickly," Alaric said, his voice filled with urgency. "The crystal has shown us the way. We must find allies who can help us defend the kingdom." Sophia agreed. "We have powerful friends in Elandor and beyond. We must reach out to them and form a coalition strong enough to deter any threat." The following day, Alaric and Sophia shared the visions with King Thaddeus and Cedric. The king, recognizing the gravity of the situation, immediately sent envoys to neighboring kingdoms, seeking alliances and support. Cedric began organizing the kingdom's defenses, ensuring that they were prepared for any possible attack. In the weeks that followed, representatives from various realms arrived at the hidden kingdom. Bonds were forged, and plans were made to safeguard the crystal and the peace it had brought. The palace, once a symbol of isolation, became a hub of diplomacy and unity. As summer reached its peak, Alaric, Sophia, and Cedric stood at the forefront of these efforts, their determination unwavering. They knew that the road ahead would be fraught with challenges, but they were ready to face them together. The hidden kingdom had become a beacon of hope, and they were its guardians. One evening, as they stood on the palace balcony, watching the sun set over their flourishing land, Sophia spoke of the future. "We have come so far, but there is still much to do. The crystal's power is a gift, but it is also a responsibility we must carry with honor." Alaric took her hand, his gaze steady and filled with resolve. "Together, we will protect this kingdom and ensure that its light never fades." Cedric, standing beside them, nodded in agreement. "We are stronger together, and with the alliances we've forged, we can face any threat that comes our way." As the first stars appeared in the twilight sky, the three companions felt a deep sense of purpose and unity. The hidden kingdom, once a place of legend, was now a shining example of what could be achieved through courage, wisdom, and unwavering resolve. Their journey was far from over, but with the crystal of eternity and the strength of their bonds, they were ready for whatever the future held. As the summer days grew longer, the hidden kingdom thrived under the protection of the crystal of eternity. Yet, the tranquility was tinged with a sense of vigilance. The visions granted by the crystal had revealed a looming threat, and the kingdom's newfound allies had only just begun to arrive. One morning, as Alaric stood in the palace courtyard overseeing the training of new recruits, a scout approached with urgent news. "Your Highness," the scout said, bowing quickly, "a dark force has been sighted on the northern borders. They are moving swiftly, and it seems they are headed this way." Alaric's heart tightened. The threat they had been preparing for was now imminent. He called for Cedric and Sophia, their faces reflecting the gravity of the situation. "We need to mobilize our forces and alert our allies," Alaric commanded, his voice steady despite the turmoil within. Cedric nodded, already thinking ahead. "I'll gather our warriors and strengthen the defenses. Sophia, we should send word to our allies immediately. We must be ready for whatever comes." Sophia, ever the strategist, replied, "I'll handle the communications. We need to ensure our allies are prepared to support us." As the palace buzzed with the urgency of their preparations, Alaric couldn't help but feel the weight of his responsibilities. The kingdom's safety depended on their swift and decisive actions. He took a moment to visit the chamber of the crystal of eternity, seeking its guidance. The crystal's light pulsed gently, filling the room with a soothing glow. Alaric placed his hand on its smooth surface, closing his eyes. "Crystal of eternity," he whispered. "Guide us in this time of need. Show us the way to protect our people and our land." A vision formed within the crystal, showing the northern borders engulfed in shadow, but also revealing a hidden strength within the kingdom's defenses. Alaric saw images of strategic points, natural barriers, and the unity of their allies. The message was clear. They had the means to defend their home, but they needed to act with precision and courage. Bolstered by the vision, Alaric rejoined his companions, sharing the crystal's insights. "We must use the natural barriers to our advantage," he said, outlining the strategic points shown in the vision. "Our allies will bolster our forces, and together we can hold the line." As the day wore on, the Allied forces began to arrive, their banners waving proudly. Representatives from Elendor, as well as other neighboring realms, brought their warriors and resources. The palace grounds became a hub of activity as plans were finalized and positions fortified. At dusk, the kingdom's leaders gathered in the war room. The atmosphere was tense, but resolute. King Thaddeus stood at the head of the table, his presence a steadying force. "Tonight, we face a great darkness," he began, his voice filled with determination. "But we are not alone. Our allies stand with us, and our people are ready. We will fight for our home, for the peace we have built, and for the future we believe in." Alaric, Cedric, and Sophia exchanged determined glances. They knew the stakes were high, but they were prepared to face whatever came their way. As the final plans were made, they felt the weight of the crystal's power within them, a beacon of hope in the encroaching darkness. As night fell, the kingdom's defenders took their positions along the northern border. The air was thick with anticipation, the silence broken only by the distant rustle of leaves and the occasional clink of armor. Alaric stood at the forefront, the enchanted shield at his side, ready to lead his people into battle. Suddenly, the ground trembled, and the darkness seemed to come alive. From the shadows emerged the enemy forces, their eyes glowing with malevolent intent. At their head was a figure cloaked in darkness, his presence radiating an aura of dread. The battle began with a clash of swords and the roar of magic. Alaric, Cedric, and Sophia fought with unwavering resolve, their movements precise and coordinated. The enchanted shield deflected blows and absorbed dark spells, its power a lifeline in the chaos. Despite the ferocity of the enemy, the defenders held their ground. The natural barriers and strategic points, as revealed by the crystal, provided crucial advantages. The allied forces fought bravely, their unity a testament to the bonds forged in peace. Hours passed in a blur of steel and magic, the night lit by the glow of spells and the flash of swords. The enemy pressed hard, but the defenders stood firm. In the heart of the battle, Alaric confronted the dark figure, their eyes locking in a moment of silent challenge. "You will not take this kingdom," Alaric declared, his voice echoing with the strength of the crystal. "We stand united, and we will not fall." The dark figure laughed, a cold, hollow sound. "You cannot stop the darkness, Prince. It will consume everything." But Alaric knew better. With a final, decisive strike, he channeled the power of the crystal through the enchanted shield, unleashing a blinding light that pierced the darkness. The enemy forces faltered, their leader's hold over them broken. As the light faded, the battlefield fell silent. The enemy, now leaderless and disoriented, began to retreat. The defenders, though exhausted, raised their weapons in victory. The hidden kingdom had withstood the darkness, their unity and courage shining through. In the aftermath, as the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, Alaric, Cedric, and Sophia stood together, their faces reflecting a mix of relief and determination. The battle had been won, but they knew that vigilance was still needed. King Thaddeus joined them, his eyes filled with pride. "You have done well, my friends. The kingdom stands strong because of your courage and leadership." Alaric nodded, his gaze fixed on the horizon. The crystal of eternity has shown us the way, but it is our unity that has made us strong. We must continue to protect and nurture this bond, for it is the true source of our power. As the sun rose higher, casting its golden light over the kingdom, the people began to emerge from their homes, their faces filled with hope and gratitude. The hidden kingdom, once a place of legend, had proven itself a bastion of light against the darkness. And as Alaric, Cedric, and Sophia looked to the future, they knew that their journey was far from over. There would always be new challenges to face and new horizons to explore. But with the crystal of eternity and the strength of their unity, they were ready for whatever lay ahead.